Oh, hello. It is 2023, and this is our first stream of the year. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And I'm so excited for this chat today because Miss T. Jones, I have known her for a while. Chat for a very long time since I started streaming personally. And I know Miss T came into my chat talking about charity and, oh, I'm doing this campaign. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm like, wow, you do a lot of fundraising. And guess what? It is 2023 and she's still killing it and still doing it. I chat, listen, this woman streams every day and she is always fundraising. And I went back to her Tiltify profile and her team profile. Can you guess how many campaigns she has created in total? You probably can't, but it's 25. 25. How does it feel to have 25 campaigns under you, under your name, what you and your community have done?
It feels amazing because starting out streaming, I knew that's what I wanted to do was
Mm-hmm.
to raise money for different causes, for different charities, different ones that mean a lot to me, ones that I might not know that much information about, but
Yeah.
was willing to learn about information and to just get the word out there. Even if I don't raise no money, I at least raised awareness and someone else seen it and be willing to say, hey, maybe next time I'll catch you on the flip side and donate to the cause if you run it again.
I love that. I love that. And oh, I want everyone to know that you creating that campaign is the first step, and the cause is going to appreciate you doing that. Using your time, spreading awareness, like Jones just said, is so impactful. Is so impactful. You can literally raise $0, but the amount of people that will learn about the cause and tell their family, their friends, their own communities, that's what's most important. Word of mouth is very, very powerful. So thank you for sharing that.
You're
But
very welcome.
first off, I'm Ashley, also known as Miss Ash Rocks in a Space, Tiltify's community manager. I get to chat with awesome people like Jones and so many other wonderful creators and causes on our live stream and sharing their stories. That's my favorite part of my job. So I'm so excited for the chat today. So, welcome in again, first stream of 2023, and we'll be live again tomorrow with our recap of December. We're going to show some clips for the rest of Claus My Cause, Jingle Jam, and all that fun stuff. But today we're talking with Miss T. We're going to share her story. And Miss T, it is time for you to introduce yourself, baby, and tell us about your streaming journey. We love to hear it from the start to now.
So my name is on Twitch. I go by Miss T Jones 87, but I go by Miss Jones or Miss T Jones, or just Jones. I started streaming back in February. This is gonna be like the cliche of dates, but I started streaming February 14 of 2014, officially on Valentine's Day. I originally my first name was Diva something, but I didn't like it,
Yeah.
and so I deleted the account. I probably only streamed on there 2 or 3 times. And then I made TY Jones 87, which stood for Tamika Yolanda Jones, and my date, I was the year I was born. And I started streaming because my friend had told me about um, this platform called Twitch. My mom had bought me an Xbox One after I went through cancer, and my Christmas gift was an Xbox One, and it was built in where you could
It's
stream
coming.
on a platform called Twitch. I
Fudge.
didn't look
Yeah.
into that. I was more just I want to play the game. I wanted GTA. That's all I wanted to do. Play some Call of Duty. And my friend had said, there's a platform called Twitch. I said, Twitch. What is Twitch? Like YouTube? And I'm like, I'm not gonna stream on a thing. Who's gonna come watch me stream? And then I even started thinking, who would go watch someone stream the game and they could just play it themselves? I'm like,
Yeah.
so I didn't fully look into it. I just put up a stream one day, had chat up on my phone because I was streaming off my console, and I had a laptop which was slow back then. So I did it, and then one night I remember going on Twitch on the Xbox, downloading the app on my phone,
Mhm.
and I went to the Call of Duty section and I was like, okay, let me see what this is all about. I went in someone's channel. I typed a couple things and I'm like, okay, maybe this is a pre thing. It's a stream and then it's a rebroadcast because no, the person wasn't talking to chat. So I said, let me go to one more person. So this individual knows. I tell the story to everyone. I was looking on the Xbox app on the TV and I seen this cute little bald man. I said, who this cute little bald man? And I clicked on it and I watched and I'm like, okay, this is a different kind of type of gameplay of Call of Duty.
Uh-huh.
And he was playing like different mode, many things, like Swifter says. And as I'm talking about Mr. Swifter himself. And I'm like, this is interesting and fun. And then I subscribed to him. I got to join in some of his games and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, streaming, this is something I want to do. I want to make this a platform. I want to do this full time. And how do I do it and what to do? And he helped me with different things. I asked a little bit questions here and there and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then in November of 2014, he actually did a charity for water. And I'm like, this is a
Uh-huh.
thing you could do on Twitch. I'm like, oh wait, charity and going through the what I went through with cancer, I wanted to give back into this world. So I was like, okay, maybe I can start doing this. Maybe no one else does this on Twitch. And so I was looking up on my phone how to do the charities, what to do, how to do it, and how to be
Yeah.
professional about doing it. And then he rated and hosted Miss Vixen. And
Right.
I started looking through her little about me section. And I said, wait, this is a thing on Twitch. And then I said, wait, St. Jude. I was like, this is a perfect one. I want to do this. So I was told, she would talk about it on her stream. And so in 2015 was the first year that I joined St. Jude Play Live in April, the last Friday in April. I did it from that day all the way to June 1st. And I said, I know I only have about maybe 10, 15 viewers, depending on the game that I play. And I know a bunch of them are little kids because come a lot of times they're from Swifter stream. So I knew he's
Yeah.
got a bunch of little kids. I'm like, I have a lot of little kids on my channel. I don't want to be the person to like go steal your mama's credit card because that's you don't want to tell a kid that because they would actually go do that. So I'm like, how can I do this to let maybe the kids want to donate and talk to their parents? So I started looking up more information, and when I did my first charity, um, I want to say, I believe it was 500 I actually raised for St. Jude. And when I got the 500, I left the stream up and went outside because my mom was cooking on the grill. I'm like, Ma, she's like, what? I got $500 for St. Jude. She's like, you got what? $500 for my charity. Then one person just, I'm like, no, I was so excited just for 500. I mean, I was excited for just $5, a dollar when people would donate. But when I got
Yeah.
that, I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, okay, this is something I want to do. I just got the joy of just people donating little tiny amounts or even seeing them retweeting my tweets or taking my donation link and putting it on their stuff. And I'm like, there there is other people like me in this world that is nice and kind because I know there's people out there, but you don't physically ever see it. You don't get to view it from your point of view and stuff like that. And for me to see that, it was like a blessing in disguise that a little old me can do these little things. And I said, I want
Yeah.
to do this. I want to raise money. And as you said, on my profile, there's 25. There's actually on my profile, there's 25. And
It's 25 total. Yep.
I've also helped other teams. So I'm probably really at 30 plus charities that I have personally done. And some of the charities wasn't on Tiltify that I did. And then they finally jumped ship to Tiltify. So I was so grateful for that. So there's a lot of different charities that I've done. Um, I've actually started doing charity stuff when I was younger. When I
Yeah.
was little, I donated clothes to Salvation Army. I did things with my church. I I went to homeless areas and people that was going in shelters and gave on hot days. I'd pass out popsicle sticks and stuff like that. Sometimes when it's really hot out, I went one time. I went to the store and this lady was
Mm.
holding a sign. I went to the store because it was like 90 something degrees. I got off the bus and I was supposed to be going home to probably do a charity stream. I got off the bus and walked to Targets and got 2 bottles of water because I didn't have cash on me, and gave
Yeah.
that person some water. I said, stay hydrated because it was really hot that day. And just little things, I do outside of streaming that, I don't really
Mhm.
talk about or tell people about. Sometimes I do tell people, but I don't do it because I want recognition of doing it. I do it because that's just something that I was raised to do, to give back to others that may be less fortunate than half of us are in this world. And I grew up in my teenage listening to my pastor always saying, the one saying that I actually adapted and put on my stream is, we give because we're blessed, and we're blessed because we give, therefore we are never without. And I've always told people in my stream that. I've always told people, like, if you can give $1, give $1. If you can go one day without a cup of coffee, put that $5 cup of coffee towards the charity. It's not going in my pocket. You're helping out a child or a cause, depending on what the charity I'm running and doing. It's like you're helping out, and you'll feel so much better. And doors can open up for you that, you'll wake up like, what, that $5 that I could have had for my cup of coffee on my day off went to a good cause, and I helped another family out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, I was raised to do the same thing, help those that can't help themselves because, sometimes it's not their fault. Things are unfortunate, events that happen in their lives. But if you have it to help somebody, help them. So I was raised the same way. I volunteered at a very young age, at 4 years old. So I've been volunteering my whole life and giving back every chance I can. So we can relate on that 100%. And I love that you tell people, hey, you don't have to get that coffee tomorrow. You can either, instead, you can help this cause, help kids that are in need. I love that because I do the same thing. I tell my chat, hey, you don't need that Starbucks coffee tomorrow. Make your own coffee at home. You can give it to charity today. Do your good deed today. So I love that. I love that.
See,
I
great
think that's
minds
what we're
think alike.
exactly. You don't need that coffee chat. You can get the coffee next week.
It ain't going nowhere,
It's
but the
not going
person's
anywhere.
life, it could go somewhere.
It can go somewhere with just that simple contribution or just sharing the stream, sharing it with your family and friends. Again, awareness is just as powerful as donating. So, and we had Griffin in chat. Little things make a huge difference. Absolutely. I am a big believer in small things create huge impact. Okay. I'm telling you that if Miss T raised $500 and I raise $100 for that cause, we both are creating a huge impact. It's not always necessarily based on how much you do, it's how you do it and how you approach your community and how you show your passion for that cause. So, Miss T, when you create a campaign, how do you find causes to fundraise for? Is it a cause that you resonate with, or is it just a cause that you want to support because you like the mission?
So, in 2021, I had sat down with my mom for
Hmm.
breakfast one day and was talking to her about charity stuff. And then I
Uh
had
huh.
also asked my bestie about it. And so when I went on this mission to start doing charity and to get into it, I picked ones that I am close to, and then I also picked ones that I um, might not had physically went through, but know someone that went through it.
Hmm.
Like, if someone would have asked me, out of all of the 25 charities I've done, which ones um, that meant a lot to me, all of them mean a lot to me. There's not one charity that
Right.
I picked that did not mean anything to me. But my
Right.
most one that I always liked doing, and then I started in 2015, was St. Jude Play Live. And I've done it every year. I even actually did it twice last year. I did it regular
Yeah.
St. Jude, and then I did the St. Jude Play Live. And it means a lot because when I was diagnosed with cancer, I know what these kids were going through.
Hmm.
I knew the ups and downs. I knew how much the medicine actually really does cost. I had someone one time in my chat, they came and like, why is your goal for St. Jude $6,000? you don't even have that many viewers in your channel. And I said, it's not about
Wow.
the numbers to me. It's about, I want to make 6,000 because I had cancer and I did 6 rounds of chemo and I had
Right.
5 bags that I had to do. And one bag alone was $1,000. So that's
Yeah.
6,000 in total. So I said, you know what? My goal will always be 6,000 no matter what. If I hit it or not, the highest I have gotten to was 2,583 or $86, and I was in
Wow.
tears. I was crying. I was so blessed and grateful. I mean, I know they like seeing the incentives, but at the end of the day, it's like I was so overwhelmed, and it was just like it hit me like I'm actually doing something that means something to me that I can give
Mhm.
back, and I can say, hey, listen, this is what we did as a community. This is what we did as a group. This is, you know,
Yes.
I tell people all the time, give $1, and they're like, well, what is that dollar gonna do? I'm like, your $1 could turn into $99. And they say, well, how is that? How can that? Someone could come in the channel and say her goal is $100. She's at a dollar. Let's give $99. Let's give her to 100. Or let's give $9, get her $10. And maybe they come back within 3 days. She's still at $10. Let me give another $10. Any little amount people can give. I always encourage people to give. If you can't physically give, then tweet out the stream. Social media is a key for all streamers.
Yeah.
That helps us at least get the word out, like, hey, this person is doing a charity. This year I um picked 12 different charities to do. um and the one for next month is American Heart Association. This will be my
Yeah.
second year doing that one. And I did it last year because I had a family friend that died who had issues with his heart. And so I looked up on Tiltify and searched, like, I want to do something for heart related. And I seen that, and I said, and I looked at the YouTube videos, I got a little resource, and I said, I want to do that. I did it for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then I bought it back this year. I made my list in December, and
Hmm.
not knowing that my uncle was going to pass away from a heart attack, I went from doing this year for 2 to 3 weeks, so I'm doing it for the whole month of February, to give honor for my uncle, who passed away with suddenly with the heart attack. And so I picked different causes that I can kind of relate to. I do Toys for Tots. For my nephew, he's actually in the Marine Corps, and I said, okay, I got to do this. My nephew's going to, serve the country. I want to do my part. I have another
Yeah.
nephew that went to the army, so I said Wounded Warrior project I could do. And then this year is the first
Mhm.
year that I'm actually doing the Salvation Army. I gave to when I was a
Uh,
kid, so I was like, I looked on Tiltify. I did not know they were on Tiltify. I was like, this is a thing. I'm like, oh, it's going on the list for 2023, on the list. And there's so many other ones that I do: mental health, Movember, breast cancer. Um, the one that really um, kind of had me in tears when I was looking up Tiltify is I didn't know that there was the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So in 2021, I said, that's got to go on the list. That's got to stay on the list. That's got to be a rotation I do every year. Um, Last year, I lost 2 of my cats, and I put Humane Society on the list for last year, and the Humane Society for this year. I do autism one for National Autism Association. Right now, I'm actually currently doing one for American Red Cross. So I pick ones that mean something to me, and American Red Cross, I picked that one mainly because when I want to say 2021, I would give blood. And being with the type of
mhm.
cancer that I have, I can't donate blood no more. So I said,
Yeah.
well, since I can't donate, I will raise money. And this was the first year that I said, you know what, maybe I should change up how I deliver it. And so I put on Twitter when I started this campaign, I said, if you can't, and I said on my stream a couple of times, if you can't physically donate funds, I challenge you to sign up and donate blood if you can. If you are
Yeah.
able to find a local Red Cross and donate blood for 2023. It doesn't have to be this month. You got a whole 12 months. But I told people, I challenged them. I said, if you can't physically give money, if you're of age and can donate blood, do it. It's not going to hurt you. And you're going to feel better afterwards. And heck, go treat yourself to ice cream afterwards, or even a cookie. But it's something that streaming and picking charities, you want to pick something that's dear to you, that you can give the experience for, and tell your side of the story, and say why they should donate, why the money should be given, and let them know that it's not going in your pocket. Because you never know,
Right.
that viewer can sit there and think, how I know it's gonna not go in their pocket, and they're gonna pocket it. Let them know, your money does not come in my pocket. It does not come in my money. I don't even see it. I don't touch it. I don't have to transfer it. It automatically goes through Tiltify, through to right to the company. They take care of anything, and they don't even take a profit. Only person that takes a profit is the charity that is being funded for.
100%. Wow. Wow, Miss Jones. Hello. Oh my gosh, you are a superhero. I think she's a superhero.
I get
I
it
th-
from my mom. My mom's a registered nurse,
I
so
Oh, well that makes sense. You got all that power.
she's a registered nurse, so
Ah,
I get it from, I can only say I get it from my mama.
wow. That is so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss again.
Thank you.
Recently, oof, grieving sucks. So the fact that you are, turning that energy into doing good for others is so amazing. And I don't, ooh, no, I get emotional. So hold on. Let me back the bus up because I can't get emotional. I just
Sorry,
think
I didn't
that's
mean to make you cry.
wonderful. No, because you don't see that often,
You don't, and I think I
You
get it from my uncle too, because he was always
yeah.
he always had a smile on his face, never had no bad bone in him. So
Wow.
I get it from him, and I remember when I came home yesterday, and my mom came home. I said, "Mom, you're gonna be proud of me." And I said, "I think your brother is gonna be proud of me too." She's like, "What you do? What you do now?" And I said, when I was waiting for the bus to go to the bank, this older gentleman, that's probably maybe in his 50s or 60s, was
Mhm.
walking, and I had my headphones on, listening to my music, singing, and I seen his mouth moving, and I took my headset off my ear to see what he was going to say, and he's like, "Can you help me up on the sidewalk?" So because he, I guess, was having trouble because he did have a cane, and I said, "Yeah, sure." I went and took his one hand and put my hand above his elbow, and helped him on the sidewalk, and that's something my uncle would do. Now that's something that I'm like, you know what, we all are here for a reason, and we all should help in any way, even if even that little thing that might have meant something to him, because he could have went somewhere else and asked them, and they would have been looking at him like, "I don't know you, I ain't helping you." And
Right.
there's not that many
Right.
people in this world that would, do something for someone else without it benefiting them.
Oof. Say it again. Say it again.
I mean, I
But
can. I don't know if the people in the back heard me loud enough.
but you just have such a phenomenal spirit, and you have a positive outlook on everything. Um and you are so willing to help anybody and anyone that's in need, and you do that with your Twitch community, and you do that. You've been doing it for a long time. You've been streaming for how long? What is that? Almost 8 years, right? Almost 8 years. You've
2014.
or sorry, 9 years, almost 9 years. That is
Yeah, February will be
incredible.
around the corner
That is
before you know it.
incredible. And again, I went back and counted. Of course, it did not count all the amazing fundraising she has done if it was off Tiltify, but all the ones on Tiltify, 25 campaigns for different causes. Let's see. We got Pets Save Lives. We got Jones Fam helping Wounded Warrior Project, Humane Society, like she said. I'm just scrolling through all of them. Movember, Breast Cancer Foundation, Marine Toys for Tots. It just keeps going, Chad. It keeps going. Mental Health America, American Heart Association, and now we're doing Red Cross and National Autism Association. It just keeps going. CG Play Live. It keeps going. And she does this every day. chat, she does this every day. So first, make sure you're following Miss T Jones 87 on Twitch. Okay. Please make sure you're following her. She is live every day fundraising. She gets up, plays games, and fundraise. That that's all she does every day. And it's beautiful. And I don't know how she has the time for it, but
I make time.
you make time, baby. You make time. And it's stunning. It is a phenomenal life you have right now, doing so much for others. And I hope you do take care of yourself and you do rest, drink water, hydrate. Okay. Where's your water? Like, what you got? You got a drink? You got your drink, right? Okay. Make sure you're taking care of yourself because you are always giving, 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 giving. I don't know how you refill your cup, but you are always giving. And first off, thank you so much for being a part of the Tiltify community. We love seeing your streams every day. And we just love seeing the work that you're doing. And it's so inspiring. You make me want to step my game up. I gotta get it. I gotta step my game up, chat. I think I've fundraised for maybe 8 or 9 different causes, and I do it throughout the years. I gotta step it up. But your story is
it's
phenomenal.
it's it's not
Ah,
how many you do, it's what you
it's
can do.
what you
And
can
what's
do.
on your plate. Sometimes people have too
Mhm.
much on their plate and they can't do it. And you want to give
Mhm.
your all. You don't want to just, you want to see the cup full. You don't want to go into something with the cup half
Exactly.
full. So
Yeah.
I always tell people, if you can't give 100% or even at least 90%, save it. Do it. Maybe this ain't the right time. Wait till you are
Mhm.
mentally able to kind of do it and stuff like that. And it's not easy. Charity stuff is not easy. There's charities I did it for 3 weeks and it was $0. It was nothing. But I didn't let that stop me. I said, you know what? It's $0. But someone watched the video. Someone seen that video I played. Someone came and
Yeah.
looked at that. Someone seen that tweet that I put out there. And it amazes me that, like, the little things I do, like this year I got a Christmas card from National Breast Cancer Foundation. I wasn't expecting that. They also sent
Aw.
me um a little magnet, which I have right there on my refrigerator. Wasn't
Mhm.
expecting that. And I don't expect gifts. um if they stop sending gifts, I still do the charity. I'm not in for it for the gifts. I'm into it because it needs to be done. It needs to be helped. There's we
Yeah.
see it on TV and we ignore it. We get things in the mail. You just throw it away without even opening it. I'm not that type of person. I will open it. I would look and I would say, okay, I know what I need to do. I know what I got to do.
Absolutely. It needs to be talked about. We have to spread this awareness one way or another. So, and you do that by simply creating a campaign and sharing facts and the mission about the cause with your stream. So, yes, your story is very impactful, very inspiring. I love what you're doing. And Shot said Ash is still in 2022. I am. I am. Who isn't? Who isn't still in 2022? And Griffin said, big props to your mom being an RN. It's a big deal and very hard work. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
especially
Especially,
during this time. She's a
yep.
frontliner, and I'm not gonna lie, my mom did come home with COVID, and that I prayed that she wouldn't. And I think the test was maybe negative, but it was a faulty test. But it hurt because she was at the nursing home and they was hitting it hard versus hospitals.
Yeah.
Nursing home was way worse. And then when she took
Mm-hmm.
this job at the school to be a nurse at the school, that even, I'm like, Mom, you putting too much on my plate. You know what I do at home. I gotta do my charity stuff, and you putting more stuff on my plate. And you might not see it on my stream because I put a smile on my face no matter what. And I, get my energy drink and I breathe in and breathe out. And because I know there's other people out in this world that has it 10 times worse than I have it. I'm blessed to still have my mom. I'm blessed for her to see 70 years old last year. I got smacked for throwing her a surprise birthday party. She didn't know about it, but I'm blessed to still have a mother that's here, and she turned 70. And all she told me is, I want a big surprise party. I want a party. I want a big party. So me and my brother did that for her. She didn't know about it. I was sneaking and stealing her cell phone when she was sleeping to get information. And then when she turned the corner and seen her nurses friends, she cried. And I said, well, my job is done as a child. I wanted you to have tears of joy because with this COVID going on, we had tears of sadness for the longest. And
Yeah.
I said, you know what, it's time for someone to have some cries for a good thing and not a bad thing. And I knew even if it was just one person from her job that came, I knew that I wanted her friend Dr. Beagle there because if it wasn't for him taking my case, I would not be still breathing today. So I said, I don't care if no one else shows. I told his wife, I said, if I have to go take care of his shift, and I ain't no doctor, but if I got to cover for him, I will go and cover for him. I'll sit there and just answer the phone. Dr. Beagle's not in. He's unfortunately taking care of a matter for me because he needs to be there for my mama. He will get back to you within a couple of hours. I would have just been sending him to someone else. But no, I was blessed to have her still here and have her see 70. Because some people during this
Wow.
COVID with my mom being a frontline person, that wasn't no joke at all. And I
Right.
said, no, I'm gonna still, because I had to change and figure out how am I gonna raise money when some people are out of work. And I say, you know what, I'm still gonna do it. Still gonna do it. I'm not gonna just because there's a pandemic in this world, that doesn't mean the charity stops. That's where it
Correct.
gets stronger to do. And I
Exactly.
was like, maybe this will motivate more people. Like, you know what? I need to do something good. I need to put up a charity. I need to put up a stream, do something. And that's what I took out of everything that went on. I said, I'm not gonna stop because the world's stopping. Because the world
Exactly.
ain't gonna full stop. We still
No.
gotta do things and put the word out in any way that we can. So because I did get a little frustrated when COVID came because I'm like, how am I gonna still do this? Because I don't want to take money from someone that is not working and they got I was growing up, the main important things that you need is a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food on the table. That's it. You don't need the
Mhm.
internet, you need cable. Back when I was growing up, my internet was dial-up, AOL dial-up, and I had always pray that my mother wasn't on the phone. And when she needed the phone, get off that internet. I need to use the phone. And kids nowadays they don't know that. They're like, "What's AOL dial-up? What you lived under a rock?" And I'm like, "No, that's how
I
we got into."
still I still have my AOL, so
I do too. I
that
still got my AOL
hello.
email. I know the
See?
password and everything. I might have had to change that password 6 times, but I still got my AOL account. I just don't use it that much.
Yes, yes. Oh, wow, your mother hit 70 years old and still
Still
out there in the
working.
front lines
Yeah,
and still working.
she retired from Albany Med. She was there for
Mhm.
30 plus years, and then
Wow.
this house ain't gonna play by itself. So she went back to work because the little money that she does get from retiring, it helps. But I ain't gonna lie, my mother is the casino person in the household. So I say she wanted that extra spending money. I said, don't come knocking on my door for no spending money. I'd rather, I'm gonna put that to charity. I'll make excuses. I'm like, I ain't got no money. I just donated. Don't look at me. Because I'm not personally working. I am on disability due to the me being sick. And so they never allowed me to go
Mhm.
back to work. So whatever little income I have, I'm like, no, ma, I got to do charity. I got to do giveaways. I want to do things. I want to give back to my community for donating. So yeah, my money's tight. I got bills too, ma.
And I know you were talking briefly about being a cancer survivor, and it's been 10 years. I believe you told me 10 years. I want to learn more about your story. If you can tell us when you were diagnosed and what lymphoma is, and tell us a little bit about your journey through that, I'd be so
Um,
appreciative.
I will do the best I can without making anyone cry because this is one of them kind of stories that even I still choke up. And I'll give the best information I can because, like I said, my
Yeah.
mom's a registered nurse, so she was always taking care of what to do and what not because I was 24. Um,
Yeah.
so um, to make a long story as short as possible, I was always pretty much a healthy kid, playing sports in school, between soccer, field hockey, all those things.
Mhm.
Growing up healthy, going to doctors, doing everything that we're supposed to do. As I got older as a kid, I mean, as an adult, excuse me, not a kid, um, I still was doing my normal doctor checks. And this happened when I was kind of in the middle between, I went to college and I ended up getting a job. Um, and I was getting good income. So I had to make the decision, do I want to keep working or do I want to continue schooling? And so I changed and did night school. And
Mm-hmm.
then that was too much. So then I got another job, um, which was my dream job, was to work in a restaurant. And so I was
Awesome.
balancing two jobs. I started out as a dishwasher and then they finally upgraded me to the prep cook, which is what I love doing. I love cooking. I love being around food, doing something. Um,
Ooh.
so I had that, and then I had the state job, which was doing taxes. Don't ask me if I still know how to do that. I don't. It was mostly data entry typing, but there was some other stuff involved in it. And so I had two good paying jobs, and I loved it. And I sadly got injured one day at work, with a frozen shoulder, and I still was working through that at the my at I worked at Applebee's, and then I was still doing the state job, and then the state job I kind of stopped doing, and I still was doing Applebee's, but then it got too much, and
Yeah.
so I took a relief just of absence. And of course, I had to file workman's comp, and I get a phone call from workman's comp, you've been fired. I'm like, I'm not fired. I just put in for a leave of absence. They fired
Yeah.
me without even telling me, which devastated me because I'm like, this is my dream job. I have my foot in the door to be able to be a cook on the line, and they just took it from me. So then I got
Oh,
another job, and I was having a lot of pain. 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, I was having a lot of pain. Just them hours. It wasn't, I wake up fine, perked up, nothing happened. But 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I would be waking up, sleeping, crying. And my mom, being a registered nurse, she was working the day shifts. She always, I think, even to this day, still feels guilty for her response to me a lot of time. She would like kind of yell from her room, if you don't shut up, I gotta get up in the morning to go to work. Stop crying, shut up. And she felt guilty because she didn't know. She thought I was either playing a game or just maybe crying in my sleep. She didn't know. And I didn't know what was going on. I went to the
yeah.
emergency room. I went to my primary doctor. They did blood work. I did everything that I was supposed to do to figure out what the pain was. Where was this coming from? And my primary doctor took blood work, and they said we'll get back to you um, when we get the results. I ended up going to the emergency room because I had pain, and um, they actually had access to my chart because where I go to, it's run through the same hospital. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what I do at my primary, the emergency room will have access to it. Every Albany Med has access because I stuck with that hospital because my mom worked there and I trusted them.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to stay with what I know and who I know. And plus, my mom knows doctors. So I'm going to stay where I know. And they gave me some pain medicine. I went home, took the pain medicine. Pain was still the same. I think like maybe a week later, I went to the hospital again. This was all going on in February. I don't know the exact date. But in February, I went to the emergency room again for the same pain. And then my mom started getting worried because they did the same thing. They got the pain level down, sent me home with more pain medicine. And I was the type of person, I don't like taking pills. I don't like taking medicine
Yeah.
for pain. I'd rather that be the last thing. If I can't, if the hot water washcloth don't work, if ice pack don't work, turning all the lights off my room don't work, taking a nap, if none of that stuff work, and my last choice is to take a little pill, I will take it if I have to.
Mhm.
So my mom started getting worried because my skin complexion started getting darker because I'm light skinned. So my
Yeah.
hands around here were getting darker, and other spots
Oh.
were getting darker. And my mom was like, "There's something wrong, my child. There's something wrong." She called Dr. Beagle and said, she's been to the ER twice. She's been to the primary.
Mhm.
Can you see my daughter to see what's going on? Because something is going on and no one's giving her answers. She's doing her part. I need to step in and figure out what's wrong with my child. So she took me to his office in Albany Med, and he looked at the blood work. And he asked me, he's like, did they give you the results of this blood work? I'm like, no. I came to the ER. They told me to make an appointment with my primary doctor. And I did. I went home, called them the next morning because this was like 3 o'clock in the morning. They ain't going to be open.
Mhm.
So I called the very first thing when I woke up. I called them. They said, okay, we can see you in May. Now, remind you, we're in February. I have to wait for May. And I did ask the ER. I said, is there something I need to know? Is it an emergency? Is there something wrong with my blood work? She said, no, just, talk to them. And I'm like frustrated in my head. Why can't you just give me the results or bring a doctor that
Yeah.
can read the result? Like, why are you having me wait? So I didn't say nothing because I didn't want to be that bad patient that, nurse is going to go talk like, oh yeah, that patient in there is a doozy. So
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'll do what they told me to do. And then that's when my mom stepped in. And then Dr. Beagle came back into the office and said, I got two options for you. We can go down, send you and get more blood work. Cause he was frustrated with the results he's seen and the fact that I didn't get no results after that. He was frustrated. So he said, I can send you down to get more blood work so we can see what's going on with you. Or we can admit you into the hospital. And I said, can I call my mom to see what she wants to do? Because I was always the type person where when it comes to money, I don't want to spend something that I don't need to spend, even though
Yeah.
thank God for President Obama for allowing me and others to still be on their parents' insurance till 24 or 26, I think it was 26. I was so thankful for that because I'm like, I didn't know how I'm going to do any of this stuff. So I chose to be admitted. And then so he couldn't physically admit me because I wasn't really his patient. He had to send me down to the ER. So I'm like, oh, here we go with the ER stuff. I'm like, well, he's sending me down. I was like, I was not looking forward to going down there. His nurse
Yeah.
brought me down there and I get checked in, I get put in a room. Doctors and nurses are coming in here and they're, what's your pain level? And I'm like, they're going to send me home. Even though he's telling me to be admitted, they're going to send me home. And I'm like, this is not right. These people should not be allowed to treat patients like this. Why are you trying to send me home?
Yeah.
My mom came down because she was working. So she had someone cover a patient. She's like, I need to go down and see what's going on with my daughter. She comes down and she's like, who's your doctor? I was like, he just left a couple seconds ago. He she goes out the office and she hears these nurses talking. Oh, that patient in there, pointing at the room, not knowing that the woman that's coming out is my mother. That patient in there is a drug seeker. She's just here to get more medicine. That
Oh,
not only frustrated me and made me angry, my
wow.
mom was angry. And I'm like, why would you even say that not paying attention who's coming towards your desk? So my mom didn't say nothing. I bless her soul, because if it was me, I would have probably been saying words that cannot be spoken on this channel. Um, but she just said, "Can I speak to my daughter's doctor?" And he came out. He came over to talk to her, and she had said, Dr. Beagle said that she needs to be admitted. So I was admitted for. They finally admitted me. I was admitted for about 2, maybe 3 weeks. They kept doing every single thing under the bus. Blood work, different x-rays, different MRIs, different scannings, every single thing to figure out what was wrong with me. And I will always be thankful for my mother being a nurse, because not only did Dr. Beagle take me on, but his boss followed my case and put his foot down for everything that needed to be done. I had a nurse one night that I didn't want medicine. I said, I can kind of go through this pain. And my roommate at the time, she goes and tells the nurse, she's over there crying. You might want to check on her. She comes in over to me. Instead of checking up on me, she gives me medicine. I'm like, I didn't ask for medicine. I wanted to kind of try to sleep through this pain. Gave me
Yeah.
medicine. I talked to my mom. She was not my nurse for the rest of the time I was there. Because that,
Oh, I
you
bet.
shouldn't do that as a nurse. You should, if a
Yeah.
patient's telling you check up on her, you check up on her. Maybe it's just a pain. I don't know. It's a little sore or something. Or I turned and just check up and see if I need the medicine. And I remember going down for a scanning,
Mhm.
and the doctor, Dr. Beagle's boss, who took my case, he seen something that the other doctors want, because he wanted to do this muscle biopsy. And the doctor's like, no, we don't need to do that. No, no waste of money. We don't see what you're seeing. He seen
Oh.
something to do that muscle biopsy. And he put, girl, I tell you, chat, I tell you not, he put his foot down and said, she's having that muscle biopsy done with or without your permission. She's getting this done. So he did it. I went home 2 or 3 days after. My mom wanted me to get my nails taken off because back then I had long, beautiful hair and fake nails, press the fake nails on. So my mom wanted me to take them off so she could keep an eye on the my nails to see if the underneath the nails would change colors and stuff like that. She's like, you need to
Mm-hmm.
remove. I didn't want to, but it was best for my health to remove them. And as we're walking into Walmart's, um, to go to the nail salon, and
Mm-hmm.
there, my mom gets a call, and I'm sitting there like I'm looking at her. Her demeanor kind of changed, and I'm like, all right, who's sick in the
Ah,
family now? Who passed away in the family now? Because anytime I get see that look, it's always bad news. Someone in my family's either passed away or is really sick. Not even thinking that I was just in the hospital. Wasn't even thinking me. And like as she's
yeah.
saying, and then she's like, she's right here with me if you want to talk to her. I'm like, oh Lord, I forgot I was in the hospital. This call is about me. I said, who knows? Maybe it's good news. Maybe it's, you know, I have to have surgery to remove something. Simple.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
she gives me the phone, and we're in a public place. So I'm like, okay, I'm in a public place. Let me get the phone. I talked to the person, talked to the doctor, and he said, I hate to be calling to tell you bad news, but you have lymphoma cancer. He said cancer, and then he said lymphoma. I didn't hear nothing else. I didn't hear the word lymphoma. I didn't hear the type. I didn't hear nothing. I just heard the word cancer. And I said, and most people would probably not think this, but the first thing that popped in my head, it took me 18 years to love this beautiful long hair, and I'm about to lose it. God darn it. I was so upset. I was like, that's the first thing that popped in my head is my hair. I said, I was 18 and I started liking, I'm 24 and I'm gonna lose my hair. And I'm like, most people like you laugh because I said that, but that's what I'm thinking in my head. Like I had some tears coming down. I said, my hair, not my hair, not the one thing I actually love about me. And I love me, but that was my best feature that I really liked was my hair. And and so I remember he's telling me this. I go in the bathroom. I started crying a little bit more. I got a thing and I a napkin and wet it and washed my face. And I said, this is not my time to cry. This is I need to be strong because my mother and brother had already lost. My mother lost her firstborn son. My brother lost his brother. My mother and brother, both of them, watched their my brother die, and he loved to climb, and he was climbing the baseball fence, and he fell. And my mom, when they ran over to her, and she ran over, and she was a nurse then, and she seen his eyes roll back in the back of his head. She knew he was gone, and I said, I need to fight because I don't, even though may my brother rest in peace. I never got a chance to meet my brother because I wasn't even born, thought of. My mother wasn't even with my father then. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I said, I can't be a sibling. My mom prayed to have a girl with long, beautiful hair. And I can't. I need to fight. I need to be strong. I need to not have this moment right now. I'll cry down the road, maybe, but this ain't the time or the place for me to have my moment. I need to be strong for my mother.
Yeah.
So we went into the nail salon. I was getting my nails removed. She treated me to get my feet done, and she's making the calls and stuff like that. And we had the talk in the car. She's like, you're gonna go through a lot of emotions learning this. You're gonna have a lot of hard times. You're gonna blame
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You're gonna blame something. You're gonna blame God. You're gonna point fingers. And I wasn't too 100% upset with it. I didn't blame God for having me have cancer because I said I took something that most people would probably be devastated for weeks, for years, for months, and stuff like that. I took that situation and said, God, why not me? Why not me? It made me a better person. Like I was always a good person before cancer. I always did things
Yeah.
and was always helpful before cancer. And I said, if anything, this is gonna make me a huger, more better person. This is gonna open my eyes and see to not take life 100% for granted. Because maybe when I was 23 and before I hit 24 to when I got cancer in February, maybe when I was 23 and stuff like that, I was living life till there was no tomorrow and not caring. And even though I did care, but like maybe there was things in my life that I was doing that I shouldn't have been doing. And I think the reason why I didn't take it as hard as probably my mom thought I would have was because I started going back to church when I was 21, I want to say it was. And I started
Mhm.
going and listening to the word and going every single Sunday, going to church, going to Bible study, singing in the choir, doing every single thing that a Christian person is supposed to do. And I think it was God preparing me for 24-year-old Miss Jones to go through something
Yeah.
that if I had not changed and started going to the church, I probably wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have been as strong. I probably would have said, God, why? Why did you do this to me? And so what made me realize and going through that is people after me that was diagnosed with cancer died, not here. And I'm like, I did have my emotions where I said, I said, God, you're keeping me here for a reason. I know there's a purpose in my life because we all have a purpose. We don't know it. We don't know
Yep.
the expiration date. We don't know when God's going to call us home or when we're going to get our wings. We don't know our expiration date. I feel like everyone in this world does have an expiration date. We don't know it. We don't um we don't know what we do can impact other people, and we just we don't know. And
Mhm.
I didn't get upset when God put me through this because I said, okay, I'm strong enough to go through this. And it hurt me because I did have that conversation. I said, Lord, if you are saving me for a, I know you're probably saving me for a bigger purpose, but please, all I ask for you is please do not put someone else in my place. Do not take someone younger to take my place, because at that time frame, I'm staying here for a reason. And like at a younger age, me, I said that means someone's got to take my place if that was supposed to be my place. And of course, as I got cancer free that same year, of September 4th, I can't remember, I want to say it was 2014, or no, 2013, I want to say it was, or 2012, it was around there. When I
Mhm.
got cancer free, in December, a classmate that I really didn't know, but we went to the same school. She was, I want to say, a sophomore or freshman when I was a senior. Got in a really bad car accident, and her boyfriend and best friend died. And I questioned that. I said, Lord, did you keep me here for this to happen? Did they take my place? I begged for you when I was sitting and getting chemo to say, don't take someone young. Don't do something that, if it's my time, it's my time. Don't let someone else take my place.
Yeah.
I lived my life. I went to college. I went to high school. I went to my prom. I had my fun and stuff like that. And I got to know you again. So just, if it's my time, I know it's my time. And it was scary to go through that when I had to do 6 rounds of chemo. Um, Before they died, like before they was going to give me the chemo, they did another testing to see what type of cancer I had. And the first round of chemo, I actually had to be a minute in the hospital because they was afraid
Mhm.
that the one bag they wanted to give me, I might would have had got rushed to dialysis. Because since the
Mhm.
cancer kind of came in my body fast, they kind of wanted to equal it out and attack it back faster. And so I was a little scared with that because when they did the MRI and stuff like that, and doctors use these terms, and I wish they didn't use these terms, but they use a term that I lit up like a Christmas tree light. And I didn't like that. For, I would say, two
Yeah.
or three years, I didn't want to see a
Yeah.
Christmas tree light. I didn't want to see no one. I didn't
Right.
want to see Christmas. There was no trees in my, there was no fake tree, real tree. I didn't want to hear this. My friends would say it and I would be okay, but I would like, it's okay. It's okay. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
That's the term. But that's the one thing I wish doctors would stop using, lighting
Me
up a
too.
Christmas tree. Like
Me
that's
too.
not a good thing to hear. And Christmas comes
Mhm.
every year, and it might trigger some people. And so I did my first run of chemo, and they were surprised because the one bag, and I was so I even to this day when I talk about this, it kind of my my friend out of I had a good amount of friends, and my one best friend who's like a little sister, oh well, older sister because I'm the youngest. Um, she actually, out of all my friends that I had before cancer, came and sat with me at the hospital, and she didn't know I was gonna have the worst bag of chemo treatment. Um, and she came and sat through the whole time, and every hour they kept pushing up the milligrams, and they were so scared when they got to, I think it was like 180 milligrams. Usually that sends people rushing to dialysis, so they was
Yeah.
they weren't sure what was going to happen, so they got to 180. Everything was fine. They pushed it to 200, and kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And the whole time I'm just sitting there eating my food, laughing, joking, and stuff like that, having like not even like I'm not getting treatment, but I was like my normal regular self, and it felt so, I don't know. It's like it made me like emotional because the fact that my best friend, who I've only known at that time for maybe 3 or 4 years, um, came, and like all my other friends that I've known for 10 years, went to high school, none of them showed up. None of them came. Some of them text. But it's like, okay, so y'all's are here in my life because I have money and I was paying when we going out clubs and going out bar hopping. I was picking up the tab. And I'm
Mhm.
like, it hurt me to go through that because it when you get diagnosed with cancer, it changes. Your friends changes around, and I didn't think that was gonna happen. I was like, my friends aren't gonna change, and they did, and some of them to this day
Yeah.
I don't even talk to. I removed them out of my life for good reasons. As I always grew up knowing, some people in your life are there permanently, and some of them are just supposed to be for a season and stop. I learned that, and I started realizing, like, instead of let me stop trying to hold on to them friends when they was probably only supposed to be a season. And I'm still trying to hold on to them because they were a good friend to me. It took me to have cancer to realize who were my true friends, who were really
Yeah.
there for me. And I didn't realize, like, my mom didn't prepare me for that part. She prepared me for everything else to go through, but she didn't tell me that you're gonna lose some friends. You have some people that come in your life and you're gonna realize that they probably was only there because you had money and you was doing things and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it took me to go through this for that. And I had to do 5 to 6 bags of chemo 6 times. My brother came to probably every single chemo treatment. My mother and brother both sit there for every round of chemo. I would go 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and be there till like 1 or 2 o'clock. My brother would
Wow.
give me flowers all the time. Give me every time I went to hospitals, bring me flowers and stuff like that. And the one thing that I think hurted my brother, because I don't never really ask him how he dealt with him getting the word with me having cancer. I don't think I want to know the answer to that because no one, I know it had to been hard, but I think what was the hardest thing for me, and I look up to my brother like a father figure. Um, what made me cherish my brother even more is when I was released from the hospital from the first round of chemo. My brother told me, "Wait, I'll come when I get to the house. I'll help you." Um, I figured I could take my time going in the house because there was only a couple of stairs. So I take the stairs, okay, and hold the railing. And I didn't think about entering the house. And when I entered the house, I took my time. And I remember putting my hand on the door frame, and I held my hand on the other door frame, and somehow I lost my footing, and I fell, and I was jimmied into the doorway. And my brother
Oh.
ran out, got out of his car, and ran up to the front door. And he said, "Don't move, don't move. I got you, sis. Don't move." And he put one arm around me, and then he put the other arm around me because my leg was like, I don't know how my one leg got on the other side of me. I don't know how I felt
Mhm.
like that because I took my time. And he helped me up and he helped me in the house. And I went in my room. I ended up having like 4 or 5 hours. I ended up back in the emergency room. I was in a lot of
Oh,
pain. And
I'm so
so my
sorry.
mom called the ambulance, and I didn't want to go in the ambulance. I said, "Can I maybe go in the car?" Because ambulance ain't no joke. I'm right around the
It
corner from
sure
the
isn't.
house. And I'm like, it should only be a $25 bill. Got the bill, it's $50. I'm like, you took the long way. You could have just turned, you could have pulled in our driveway, turned around, and go up the street. The hospital was right up the street. I could have walked if I knew he was going to charge me $50 for the hospital. Um, and I had got there and they did X-rays, and I swear I think I was meant to fall, because when they took the X-ray, they realized that there was a bone in my neck that was missing from the cancer. So I had to wear a neck brace
What?
for for like two, maybe 1 to 2 years. I had to be in a neck brace every single day. And I tell you, girl, chat, that neck brace was no joke. When I took a shower, I had to put a shower one on. I
Oh my
I don't want to see a neck
goodness.
brace for the rest of my life. Um, and so I had to always have that neck brace on. And one of the bags of chemo, which I want to mention, you guys heard me say that I raised $6,000 for St. Jude. I would like to try to, that's my goal all the time, is one of the bags out of the six that I had cost $1,000. And I only know that because I looked at the bill. Some of them were like 500, 600. And when I seen that, I'm like, how do people do this if they don't have health insurance? Like, what does, I'm like, how? What is going on here? This is, why is it so much to heal someone's body? And I was
Yep.
I was frustrated with that. And I said, you know what, right now I gotta focus on my health. I can't be frustrated on this amount of money. But like, if I wasn't on my mom's insurance, I would have been screwed. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is, yeah, my mom's registered nurse. She makes 30 to something dollars an hour, but that's her money. That's, and I know
Mhm.
she'll give it to me, but that was a lot. And
Mhm.
I had so I did the 6 rounds, and through all that, my mom's friend coworker said, your daughter's gonna be on a roller coaster ride that is never gonna end. I didn't know what that meant. I said, what you mean I'm gonna be on a roller coaster ride? Once you're here from cancer, I should be fine. I'm sitting here till this day. I still am like, why does she mean that? What does she mean by that?
Mhm.
So I was in the neck brace. I did have moments where my mom actually cleaned out the table so I can eat my meals at the table, because I usually eat in my room on the computer desk. And so even eating, I was crying. I didn't want to go out to eat at restaurants, because I sat there crying, and my mom's like, "What's wrong? Why are you crying? I thought you said the food was good." And I'm like, "It's
Yeah.
not that it's not good. It's, I want to eat like a normal person." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I literally, like, I had to eat with my arms sticking like this and a little bit forward and going like this to eat. And I that's not normal. You, when you're eating, you're just eating like that. I had to have my arms sticked out to eat, and I would cry just eating like that. My mom's like, it's gonna get better. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like, I know that, but
Yeah.
can that light be right now? I was so, that kept bothering me, a little bit by little. And then when I got died, when I became cancer free, that was like the blessed words I can ever hear my cancer doctor say to me. To this day, I still see her every once a year or more if I need to
Mhm.
go. But I didn't. I still, when I got diagnosed, when I was free of cancer, I till this day still was like, what did this doctor mean? I'm at a roller coaster ride. And
Yeah.
now I see, because even though I got free from cancer, I had to have surgery. I pushed my doctor to have surgery
Yeah.
on my neck, so my neck could be somewhat normal. It's not fully normal, but it was way worse than what it is now. Because I was tired
Mhm.
of little kids looking at me and saying, whispering, and I was like whispering, saying, "What's wrong with her neck? Why is her neck like that?" So I begged the doctor to have surgery to fix it. He's like, "Well, you're not gonna be able to shake your head. No. Um, you're just gonna be able to go up and down." I said, "That's fine. I still can talk. I can still say no. I don't have to shake my head."
Yeah.
Um, and then, so that was after being cancer free. I had the surgery the following year. Then after that, back in the hospital for something else, another surgery. It was nonstop. Then I had a scare um that the cancer might have came back, but luckily it was benign. I had to have surgery. Originally they were going to go through my neck, and that was like the scariest. The fact that
Yeah.
you're going to put me to sleep, and you have to go through my neck. Um, but I had a doctor, and my mom loved that doctor because his name was Hosanna. And I was like, I don't know how I'm getting these biblical name doctors, but I guess it's a blessing in disguise. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, he actually goes to our church, and I didn't know that. And so when he looked at the images, he said, instead of going through her throat, I'm gonna go through her side. She's gonna I had to be admitted in the hospital for 1 day. But what they did is they went through the side and flattened my lung and went in and took everything out, that little spot. He didn't leave nothing. He took it out, and there was nothing. They said no cancer. It was benign. Um, so that was like, I'm like, whoo, the cancer didn't come back. Um, because the doctors were always scared that it might come back. They told me I was lucky that it wasn't in my bones, because when they diagnosed me with cancer, they literally told me after the cancer is gone, I will not be able to walk, that I will be paralyzed. I will not be able to walk ever again. And that's still like, when that doctor said that, I'm like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. You might be my doctor,
Mhm.
but there is a heavenly doctor that's bigger than you, and I'm gonna believe that I'm gonna be able to walk. My mom doesn't remember that doctor saying that to me, but I do. I remember that doctor saying, when you become cancer free, you may not be able to walk. And the reason why I said that is because the type of cancer I had could have went to my bone if I had not had a
Yeah.
mother that was a nurse that put her foot down, and then had a doctor friend named Dr. Beagle put his foot down, and have his boss put his foot down. If I did not get the diagnosis that I got, I may have would not have been able to walk, because it might have been too late
Yeah.
to catch the cancer. They did do one treatment in my spine to make sure it wasn't there, and that was a painful thing, because I was awake and they had a long needle in my back, and the doctor's telling me to move
Yeah.
on. I said, "You're putting me to sleep, right?" He's like, "No, just move your body to the right." I said, "Am I going to feel the needle? If that breaks in me, then I'm screwed." Um, but so it was little tiny things that I remembered. And when I went for the surgery, that was a scare, and I was scared to do it because I didn't want my brother and mother to worry about, because anytime I had surgery, my brother was right there waiting
Mhm.
before I went in. Same with my mother. They were
Yeah.
pretty much my warriors, and strength that I needed. And I was scared to do that, because neck surgeries ain't no joke. That's close to your spine, and anything can happen. So I
Yeah.
was only supposed to go in that surgery for a couple hours. I was actually there longer than was planned. And he nicked something in my neck that actually made me paralyzed on that table. And luckily,
Wow.
he was able to fix it. And he fixed it where I wouldn't be paralyzed. And when I heard that, that scared me, because I'm like, is that what the doctor was talking about, saying when I was going to become paralyzed? Did he know that I was going to have surgery done, and I was going to be paralyzed on that table? But thankfully, I had a doctor that knew how to fix it and didn't nick something really bad that wasn't fixable. Like, did you tell me something that I didn't know a year later? And it's just like, the roller coaster ride isn't a joke. When you go through one thing, it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. I have not found a year from 20, I want to say 2012, um, that I got diagnosed with cancer. If you were to say, how many times have you been to the emergency room? Every single year from that, from one pain to another pain, from
Yeah.
one thing after another. I actually just recently had a surgery last year, um, to kind of fix what was going on with my menstrual cycle, because I was having pain then 2 years ago, where we had to actually
Yeah.
remove my um,
Mhm.
ovary, and my left ovary and left fallopian tube had been removed because of the pain I was going through. And then I was having more issues, and another surgeon. I'm like, can I have a year where I'm not going to the hospital for something? Can I have a year where I'm not getting a surgery? I did say to God, like, I'm okay with going through cancer, but if I knew what else was coming behind that, I don't know if I would have, I don't know how I would have felt. Because, people say, oh, once you get cancer and you're free, it's over. It's not over. It is not over.
Yeah.
There's, it's,
Mhm.
it's you. I have to go to doctors all the time to make sure the cancer's not back. I have to get blood work. Any little time I go to the ER, like last time I went to the ER, I was there from 4 o'clock in the morning to 6 p.m. that day, because I had a real bad stomach pain, and I was throwing up blood and stuff like that. So my mom was like, "You need to go to the emergency room." So she took me to the emergency room, sat with me for as long as she could, and we had to tell them that I had cancer and stuff like that. And so they had to do all the x-rays, all the MRIs, more blood work to make sure that it wasn't, a different type of cancer that came back. So it's like,
Correct.
I thought once it's gone, I don't have to. I knew I still had to go to a cancer doctor to make sure it's not back, but like I have to explain to every single doctor that takes my case that I had cancer, the type of cancer, how many chemo. It's like you always relive it, and it's like some days I don't want to talk about it, but then there's some days I'm like, why not talk about it? Why not bring awareness to people? Because some people don't get checks up. Some people don't go and get checked to make sure. Some people might feel something like, oh, it's fine, it'll go
Mhm.
away. Chat, I'm telling you this right now. Go to your doctor. And if you have a doctor that's giving you the ring around, go to another
Mhm.
doctor. Go.
Yep.
You might not have a Jeanette Jones, my mother, as a nurse and can put her foot down, but you do have someone that cares about you. Have them put their foot down with you. Because if you're
Absolutely.
scared, go have a friend. Like, if you're like, I'm not confident, you're a confident woman, I'm not confident. Find that confident person, whether it's a female or
Mhm.
a gentleman, whether it's a pastor, whether it's your parent, whether it's a best friend or a drinking buddy, whatever who it is that you have in your life that that would be strong for you and would advocate for you. Bring that person to the doctor's office with you and say, listen, I told you this pain, that pain, I told you this was going on, you need to do something. And if you can't fully say it, have your friend say something like, listen, I know I'm just this person's friend, I'm not a relative,
Yeah.
but you need to do something because I don't want my friend to die. I don't want my friend to have something bad happen to him, and then you were too late to help him when he's crying out for help. So I am encouraging you guys, chat, um to go to a doctor. um you might not have health insurance. That's fine. Still go to the doctors. At the end of the day, it's money. You can figure out how to pay that doctor bill later. Your health is what's important because you are here for a reason. And don't take life for granted. Whether you think, oh, I'm invincible. I thought I was invincible, and I wasn't. And I wasn't upset that I got cancer. But down the road, little by little, things did upset me. And I did one time, did ask God, why not me? But that was only the one day. And I think it's just because it was a bad day that I was having. And I thought that. And I said, when I got diagnosed with cancer and got free with cancer, and then when I found out by Twitch, I said, I want to do charity streams. And the first charity I thought it was St. Jude because these kids, um, they didn't sign up for this. I was 24 with cancer. I was a grown adult.
Right.
I didn't, I was doing just adult things, but these kids, they want to go outside and play. They want to go hang out with their friends. They want to go to this person's house, that person's house, do this sleepover, do that, and they can't. They can't. Their immune systems isn't strong enough for them to be around people that could be sick, that could trigger them. And
Mhm.
I said I had a mother that was able to kind of take off of work and stuff like that. And I had insurance. And I'm like, when I thought of St. Jude, I said, these kids, they need their parents. I had my parent. And most parents, they're gonna sit there and say, I want to be by my child's side, but I need to make sure that I have money to pay for her health insurance and this chemo treatment and this x-ray and this MRI. And when I thought about that, I said, no, St. Jude says it right. Um,
Mhm.
where no parent should have to worry about any bill. No parent should have to worry about paying for anything, transportation, food, anything. Their main number one worry should be being by that child's side in the time of that child's need, because a child will remember when they're 24 years old and still breathing and still here from having cancer. They will remember their parents sitting them in their times of trouble and took off of work. And everyone always asks me, well, what would you do if you had a child and was sick? I will hope to God that there's people that does things I do to raise money. There's other people that would raise money and take care of this bill at the end of the day. But even if there isn't people in this world that does this, I don't care. That's my child. And St. Jude is saving my child's life one way or another. I will worry about that bill later on down the road. At the end of the day,
Mhm.
if my job's gonna fire me, if my boss would have came to me, I told my friends all the time, if a boss would come to me and say, "You got to be here to work," my child's sick with cancer. What do you mean I gotta be here to work? You gotta be to work. I'm like, well, you know what? If you tell me I'm fired, I'm like, here's my resignation, my piece of paper, because I
Yep.
quit. I'm not gonna work. My child is more important than this job. This job will come and go, but my child has one life, and my child's only here for what for as long as God will allow that child to be here. That's more
Mhm.
important because when one, I was always taught, when one door closes, 20 more are going to open up later. So what you might do and slam the door in my face, other people are going to sit there and be like, this person is a warrior. This person is strong. This person did things that, let's hire this person. So when I first did my first charity, when I was going through the cancer and I decided to do Twitch, and I knew St. Jude was something I wanted to do. I loved what they stood for. I love the fact that, these kids should have their parents, and no parent should be worried about how they're going to pay a bill. They shouldn't have to be worried about how
Exactly.
this, that, and the third, because you don't know how long you're going to have that child in your life. And it's hard for a kid to have cancer. It's probably way harder than an adult. And it pains me that even in my 35 years of my life, we still haven't found a cure. And I said, you know what? Until they find a cure, I'm going to still keep raising money. And even then, when they find a cure, I'm still going to be raising money because money comes and goes. Charities
Mhm.
their charities never will come and go. Charity will always be there. And I knew that this, at the end of the day, was my calling. This was something I wanted to do because I had cancer. I've been there. Any type of cancer charities that I do, that means a lot. And I always tell my story one way or another. And it's like I tell people, don't cry. I was here for a reason. I was here to tell you my story. I was here to tell you what I went through. I was here to have you maybe encouraged to donate $5, to donate $10, or to retweet the
Mhm.
stream. I was here to tell you my story. I was here to tell you to go check up and go to the doctors because you don't want to. No one in the world wants to go to the doctors. You don't want to waste it. You got 20, what, 24? We have 24 hours in a day. Do I really want to waste three of them in a
Yeah.
doctor's office? But we got to.
Uh,
Your health comes before
Absolutely.
anything.
For
So
sure. 100%.
going through what I went through, it was hard. It was not easy. I've had my
Yeah.
moments. I've had my time, and it made me a better person. It made me realize I want to do good in this world because when it's my time to go, I want someone to say, that girl raised money for 25 plus different charities. She took time that she could have been doing other things, hanging out with friends, hanging out with family. She could have been doing other things, but she decided to put up a stream and stream for 8 hours, 14 hours, do 100 what I'm on like 93 days of a subathon right now, and she decided to put into this because I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to stop streaming. I wanted to stop playing games. I'm 30. I was in my 30s. I'm like, I'm 30 years old. Do I really want to keep doing this? But what makes me do it is charities, doing charity streams, giving back, and making my own charity team. And 2022 was, I made a resolution to do a charity every single month. And then
Yep.
I want to continue it. 2023 in December, I sat down, I wrote down all the charities I want to do from January to December. And if I'm going to do it a month long or 2 to 3 weeks, I said, I want to continue doing this. If I'm in my 50s,
Yep.
guess what? I'm still going to be raising money on Twitch. If Twitch goes away, I'll go to Facebook. If that goes away, I'll go to YouTube. I will find a way to still give and do charities and pray that Tiltify. I'm like, Tiltify, you got to stay around. You got to stay around because I love using Tiltify out of anything. It's the easiest platform to use, and it made me realize that I this is what I want to do. Charity,
Mhm.
like
Yep.
streaming is fun. Playing video games, fun. But what's more funner is raising money. And when you raise that $1, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I got $1. I did something. Someone donated, and then when you keep getting money, it will bring you some sort of joy, you know. And I cry. There was one time when I was doing an extra life stream, and I actually I didn't know when I did extra life I can pick what hospital. So I picked my hospital I was born in, which was Albany Med, and
Mhm.
I someone came in my stream and donated one person $2,500. I I said am I asleep? I'm pinching myself. I went outside for air. I left the stream up. I just got up and walked away. And my neighbor came outside. I was like, oh, hey, good morning, Jim. He said, good morning. He said, everything okay? I said, oh, yeah, I just want to make sure I was awake. I'm calling my friends because I said, someone just donated $2,500 to my charity. And so when I came
Mhm.
back to my desk, my friend who I was in a party with, I said the name. He said, oh, he does that all the time. And I'm like, who is, if you know, I don't know him. You know him? And he goes and says to me, it's the creator of Five Nights at Freddy. I'm like, wait, the game that I actually play, that I like, that I bought? I was like, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I looked on Twitter and everything. I'm like, he does. I knew that the name did look familiar because I remember him donating to St. Jude, to other people, but like
Right.
it didn't like
Yeah.
ring on me because the person never typed in chat either. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I started crying and I'm like, I'm looking at chat to thank them personally and stuff like that. I kind of cried a little because I was like, wait, at 2000, I said I would put a pie in my face.
I
And I
guess
said,
you're
Mama,
doing a pie to the face.
and I did it. I'll tell you this, my mother, I
Yeah.
said, Ma, can you do it? Yeah, there's a clip somewhere about it. She enjoyed it too much because she smushed it in my face. She like, I said, don't slam it in my face. And that's when I learned to never use metal because I used an actual pie pan and I felt the scrape on my nose. I said, if I'm bleeding, I'm gonna be mad at you if you drew blood. But I was didn't even think about that at first. I'm just like was still like stunned and like I'm calling my mom's calling me back. I muted the mic. I was like, someone just donated $2,500, and I'm like, I just was calling because I wanted to make sure I wasn't sleeping in
Yep.
the bed because I'm like, this is I'm a small streamer. I ain't no big timer. I'm like, my name ain't Miss Ash Rocks. I'm Miss T Jones. I think like even though
No.
the money is going to a good cause, I'm a small little time streamer, little old me who does her best not to curse during charity streams, but sometimes it's the game. I always blame it. It's the game. It's the game. It ain't
But
it ain't me. The game
listen,
made me do it.
listen, I don't, yeah. Listen, it is not about the size of your community or, your presence in the space. It's literally about you and the impact that you're doing. And
And I think it
this
took
is
me.
so amazing because going through what you went through with lymphoma, you still had a positive outlook on life and the situation. And you just said, God, please take care of me through this. And now look at you. You've been cancer free for 10 years. And I am just absolutely proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I hope you know that. Every single time that I see your live and you are fundraising or subathoning for the how many days?
We're
98 days?
at I
Or
think 90. I think we're at 93 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
come
I can
on. Come on.
give you. I
Come
can tell
on.
you that in 2.3
I,
seconds. Today's yeah 93 days.
wow. That's incredible. I love it. I love it. I
And
just
then it
think you're
mainly
doing
started because
phenomenal
I
work.
wanted to do it for breast cancer
Mhm.
awareness of
Yeah.
last year when we was doing it.
I
I didn't think
remember.
it was gonna go that long because I mainly was doing it like I do it different. I do it where people can use their channel
Mhm.
points following. I didn't want it to
Yeah.
be about money because I'm okay
Yeah.
financially. I'm okay. I wanted to do it because it's fun and hey, people are gonna maybe donate while I'm sleeping, and some people have
Yep.
actually donated for the charities when I was sleeping, and some people did gift the sub and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and I was scared to do it because I'm like, I don't want no weird people coming and asking to see my feet. That's what I was. I was like, Lord, I don't know what I'm getting. I'm opening up a door that I never did because I was always scared
Yeah.
to do something because it especially at nighttime when you're sleeping, you can't control it. So I just said, you
Yeah.
know what? I see all these other streamers doing it, and I'm in the chat at nighttime. I'm like, their chatter channel looks kind of quiet. So I said, I'll do it. I said, I'll do it. But if you would ask me you're gonna go into 2023 with doing a subathon. I'm like, that ain't happening. Nah, there's not.
But
I'm
look
not gonna
at
make
you.
the day 100. And I'm just like, I said, what did I sign myself up to? I said, I call myself a small streamer, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm bigger than I thought I was, because I didn't think that I'd be doing this for this many days.
Wow. I'm I'm so happy that we got to learn about you, and I'm so happy I personally got to learn more about you and your story, and we will always continue to support everything that you're doing, especially with all the different campaigns you create throughout the year and all the different causes you're going to be supporting every month or every few weeks. Um, Tiltify appreciates you, and we absolutely adore the things you're doing. So I hope you know that. And you have people behind you, you have a community
Every time
behind
I see you
you.
guys liking my stuff, I'm like, dude, the fun like that. When I first started getting companies and liking and retweeting, I'm like, I was like, people are behind this. I'm like, wait,
They
because
are.
I
We
was new
are.
and I didn't know. Like it was when I first was doing the charity stuff and I was getting the likes and stuff like that and retweets. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, there. I was like, they I'm little old tiny me and I don't take anything that anyone does for my community or even myself. I don't take it for granted. I really don't, and I want everyone to know I don't take anything for granted. If you were to tell me, like I said before, I don't do it for anything. And to get that, I think the first time when I got this little like trophy thing from Extra Life,
Mhm.
and I didn't even know what it was. My mom's like, "Was you expecting something in the mail?" Because I didn't know, I didn't recognize the address. I'm like, "No, I'm not." I said, "I
Yeah.
am expecting something, but not till like next week." So I'm usually I open up all my mail in front of my stream, and I learned now to open up everything in front of the stream no matter what, because I don't know what I'm gonna get.
You
But
never know.
I was laying in the chair, and I opened up the letter, I opened up the piece of paper and looked at it, and then I took out this like little like a trophy thing that you could wear around your neck, and I said, "Extra Life sent me a trophy." Like it was because I raised 2,500, but I wasn't expecting that. My mom's like, "Are you okay? You look like you're about to cry." I was like, "I wasn't expecting any of this. Like I know there's other
Yeah.
people that do get these things," and I'm like, I to this day it's still in the envelope because I need to find like a frame or something to put it on. But I'm not that type of person. I don't need any kind of item to tell me what I'm doing, because at the end of the day, it's just an
Yeah.
item. At the end of the day, people are physically seeing what I'm doing. People are physically seeing the donations, and when you slid in my inbox, I was like, Miss Ash Wax. I'm like, what she want? What I do to get her presents? I said, I hope I'm not in trouble, because I come on your channel, but I don't talk that much. I know when I first met you, I was talking a lot, but I'm more of a I like to watch and stuff like that. And so when you messaged me at first, I thought I was like, I hope her account didn't get hacked. And I'm
Oh
getting a
my
message. But that's what I
god.
was crying at
No.
first. And then when you was talking to me and you telling me, I was like, I said, then when you said charity, first thing I said, I'm not gonna lie, I said, Mom. She said, what? I said, Miss Ash Rock, someone that I look up to, she wants to sit down and talk to me about charity. And I'm like, well, it's something you love doing, and you've been doing it for X amount of years. These people are seeing the work that you do. They see that you're raising money and bringing awareness, and you tweet them out and you put their things. You are doing good into this world, and this person wants to give back. And I'm like, but can I do it? Can I sit and talk to someone? It's like, it's charity.
Yes,
You
you
like talking about
can.
and and
Yes.
and and stuff like that, and then maybe she came to your stream and she heard you talk about the type of cancer that you had and stuff like that. Do you ever see her in your chat? I'm like, if she does, she might lurk. I don't look at my lurkers, so maybe she came in and seen my tweets, and I'm constantly spamming Tiltify almost every day with my stuff, and she works for Tiltify. So I was like, you know what, Ma, if you believe I can sit in this interview and do it, I will do it, because
Yes,
even
you
though as
can.
nervous as I don't like talking, even though I do this for a living on
Well,
Twitch, it's
you do a
it's
great job.
it's hard to want to, I don't like talking about myself. It's more me. I'd rather talk about everyone else, every charities, every other thing. to sit and talk
Mhm.
about yourself and the work that you do, it's hard. And to be honest,
It is.
I'm grateful for this because the fact is, I got to sit and tell my story of having cancer, of doing charities, because at least it's out there. Because when we all are gone and it's our time to go home, they won't never know my story. They will never know who Miss T Jones is. You know, there's some
Yep.
people know Miss T Jones, but some people might not know the real me, and some people know
Yeah.
the me that they want to know. So for me to be able to tell my story and tell who I really am versus people that may think they know who I am, and kind of, I've been through a lot with Twitch, with different things going on with streaming and with doing stuff. And some people, there's people in this world. I was always taught there's people in this world that they will, when you're dead and gone, they're going to talk about you then. Don't
Mhm.
stress what others say, because at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
you're doing charity work. And if they have something against you doing charity work, or saying something, that's them. You're doing something good. Don't let someone stop you from doing what you like doing. Don't let them stop you from creating a team, for raising money, because
Yep.
at the end of the day, it's charity. No one should talk ill or say anything about charity, but there are people is in this world that does. And I learned how to kind of brush it under the rug, because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing is something I love doing. And it's something that I am
Absolutely.
grateful and blessed that Twitch and Tiltify gave me a platform that I can do it on, and I can trust that the money that they're giving to these charities is going to these charities. Because some charities, some companies out there, they don't put the money where it belongs, or they'll give 5% of what you make. And
Yeah.
it's sad that there is companies out there that does this, but it's unfortunately the world that we live in. And I was always grateful when I found out about Tiltified, and learned about Tiltified, and learned about the different charities, and learning that I could search up certain words and pull up a list of charities and say, okay, which one do I want to do? Which one is would fit me? Which one can I tell
Mhm.
the story for? Which one has a YouTube page I can show the videos, and go on their personal website, and get a little bit of information and put it into a post where I could tweet it out or put it in my channel. It was just, I am grateful for Tiltify. I'm grateful for you for even working with Tiltified, and giving us other streamers a platform to kind of talk about charity, because some people don't want to talk about charity. Some people like to
Yeah.
be behind the cameras. And for me, I'm kind of like that person, but at the same time, I get on stream 6 days a week. When I'm not doing the subathon, I stream Sunday through Friday. I take
Mhm.
Saturdays off. Is it easy? No, because I go to the gym Monday through Friday, and I go to church on Sunday. So it's hard to balance everything. And as you said, I did 25 different charities. It ain't easy even doing it. Sometimes I had to cancel on commitments that I said,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm coming hang out. And I say, you know what? I'm doing charity. Can't. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll make it up and do an extra stream for the charity. All my friends know not to contact me between April, the last Friday in April, to June 1st, because I ain't leaving my house for St. Jude. I'm home. Even with the National Breast Cancer, there's some charities I'm like, nope, ain't leaving. I actually was upset
Yeah.
with my mother, because we scheduled our first cruise. And she picked the time when St. Jude is going. I'm like, Ma, you do know you're taking me a week from raising charity. She said, when do you do the charity? I'm like, this day. And you're taking me 7 days out of the 31 plus days
Mhm.
that I have. You're taking me 7 days. I can't tweet out. If I was able to tweet out, I'm fine. But I'm in a boat in the middle of the ocean going on a cruise. There's no good Wi-Fi. Cell data, forget about it. I was not spending that much money on this. I did that once, wasn't doing it again.
Mhm.
So it's like I can't tweet out my donation leak. So I had to have my friends. I'm like, hey, if you can tweet my donation leak out once in a blue moon. But it's like you're taking me a week, and I know someone might say you deserve to have a week of to yourself. You do
You
all
do.
these charities, you do all these streams. I'm like, I know, but not during St. Jude, not during this. This is something I love doing, and it's 7 days with not raising money and talking about this, and I get excited for doing this. But I'm like, you know what? If I were to talk to any streamers, they would say you deserve to have a week to yourself. You put a lot into streaming. You do a lot of stuff for different charities. You deserve this. Go and enjoy yourself. It took me up to the day that we were leaving to say, you know what? I need to enjoy this. Because number one,
Yes, you do.
like I said, my mom's 70. I don't know when her time's gonna come, and I'm gonna remember
Yeah.
I went on a cruise with my mom. Of course, 3 cruises later, and we're technically planning on another one in October, which I'm already upset
Yeah.
about because that's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but I have no control over that cruise because it's my cousin's 50th birthday and she wanted to go on a cruise. I'm like, does these people not realize I do charity and you're taking me 5 days away from breast cancer charity month? And I'm like, I said, it's family. You gotta love family. That
You
doesn't pay
gotta
attention
love
to your,
family. And
your
then
routine.
we have a message from Squatch in chat. Your story was very inspiring, and the world is a better place with people like you here.
Thank
Oh.
you. But I will
It
say
is. It's
this.
facts.
I will
It
say
is.
this to you in chat. You're a special person for just typing that to me.
No, absolutely. That is so sweet. That's so sweet, Squatch. Thank you. Thank you. I just I wanted to give Miss Jones her flowers because she does so much for everyone, and I wanted to give her the platform to talk about her story. So thank you everybody for listening. We're gonna have this, of course, uploaded on YouTube. We're gonna have a blog post, all the social posts highlighting Miss T Jones and everything that she has already done and will continue to do this year. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for chatting with me.
Thank you for
I
having
I
me.
feel so inspired, and I just adore you so much. I've known you for so long, and I've been watching you in the shadows, just growing and growing and doing a dang thing. I'm so proud of you. I really am. So, thank you for being my friend for all these many years, and
I'm glad it came across your
I
stream because I
will
honestly don't know how I did.
I listen, but you did it. But you did it. I think we had an amazing discussion today, chat. So if anybody misses this chat, of course, it will be uploaded on YouTube. We'll have the VOD and highlighted and everything. So make sure you keep up with Miss T. Miss T, can you tell us where everyone can find you on social
On
media?
Twitch, you can find me at MsTJones87, MsTJones, and a number 8 and a number 7. And that's also my Twitter as well handler.
Awesome. Thank you, my dear. And let's see, I have one last question for you.
I may have an answer for
It's a
you,
fun
Miss
one.
Ad.
It's funny. All right. Do you like olives? Black olives?
I'm going to be honest, no.
Well, that concludes the conversation, everybody. We tried.
Wait, what?
I always ask people, do they like black
Oh,
olives? Because I
I
love
don't.
black olives.
I don't like black ones. I don't like green olives. I
Green
mean, if I have
ones?
to eat it,
Nope.
I will eat it. Um, if it's in, I will say this: if it's in that like macaroni salad noodle one style, I will eat them because it actually tastes good. But on its own by
Yes.
itself, no.
What about on
I can have.
pizza?
I don't think you're
Mm,
gonna like me because I like pineapple on my
it's so.
pizza.
Oh, me too. I love pineapple.
everyone always
Pineapple, olives.
everyone always says something like pineapple and ham don't belong on pizza. I said, well, you
Yes,
must eat
it
the wrong pizza.
does. You're eating
I
the
like
wrong
olive on
pizza.
pizza. I've had it on pizza before, but if I have olives, I like to have it with pepperonis as well. The
Yes.
olive and
Yep.
pepperoni has to be the combination. But
Yes. Okay.
olives by
See,
itself, no,
now I
no,
love
no.
you again. Now I love you again. See?
Olives by itself, no. I mean, a green one, I don't mind having it in a one of those, those
Uh
drinks.
huh.
But by itself, it's like, I can't. But on
Shot
food, I
said,
can't.
your story was so amazing to listen to, and thank you for your time. Hi, Kiz. How are you? What's up, friend? Thank you, everybody, for watching. And you will see Miss T on our stream again, I'm pretty sure. So now that she broke her nerve, she is comfortable. She's going to be on a stream more. So expect to see
Probably
her
next time
face
you see me,
again.
there'll be 25 more extra to the that. It'll be at 50.
And let's see who we're going to raid. We have so many folks online. I think we can raid Allie Mack. We haven't raided Allie Mack yet, but She is playing Red Dead Redemption 2, which is always a good game to watch. So, here's our raid message. If y'all want to, oh, I know how to type. I promise I do. If you want to copy that raid message, we're going over to Allie Mack. And remember to follow Miss T Jones 87 on all socials and keep up with her. And go donate to all the mini campaigns that she has active. Okay. Go support her and just go hang out with her. She's always live. Again, she's doing the subathon day 98. So go support it. All
93.
right. 93, one of them. 90 something. 93. But yes, go hang out with her. But let's go raid Allie Mack. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much again for hanging out with us. We'll be live tomorrow with Izzy, and we'll be doing a recap of December. Bye, y'all. Have a good one. Be safe, please, out there. All right.